down. Shit, what's up, everybody, man? Here we are. We back. Oh shit, gotta get the music a little bit down. What's up, everybody, man? This is the Patreon live stream for October 15, 2019, man. What's up, everybody? Holy shit, got 8 people watching. I was just about to say I'm so excited to have 5 people watching. Okay, we're back. We're back to 6. That's normal. Anyway, man, I just love streaming. That's all I wanted to say, man. I get so excited to fucking be talking to people, but we down to 4 now. Obviously, positivity is not working, so I don't even want to be here. I'm gonna try the fucking opposite thing. See, we're back to 6. Negativity fucking works. I knew it. How do you even be positive after that? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what's up, everybody, man? Got my boy Nathan here. Got my boy Chris. My boy DJ. I think we got Anna here. Am I skipping anybody, man? If anybody's in the chat, please say hi. Got my girl Anna. And I really, first thing that you see right here, is the music too loud, by the way? I think it's a little bit too loud. First thing I wanted to say, DJ says yell at them. I know, baby, I know. Nathan says you're such a cutie when you're happy. Bitch, I'm always a cutie. Fuck you mean? Man, whatever, man. I always been a cutie. Anyway, I really wanted to say a couple of words to my new patrons, because I'm so close to hitting $500, and I'm going crazy, man. $477, man. This shit's so crazy right now. Oh shit, Joshua over here only for a couple of minutes. Are only for a couple of minutes you hear, or only for a couple of minutes you mean the negative shit? Anyway. I think I got you last on the list, but I might start with Joshua though, because he here. Hello Anna, how you doing, baby, man? I was just saying thank you so much to all of my patrons, man. Really, I think I had like 5 or 6 new patrons this week. It's really been crazy. I don't know if it's the YouTube or something else, but really thank you so much, man. This shit, damn, like really damn, just going crazy. And all these people, man. Lemo, Delise, Katya, Mason, Victor, Tom, Lemo, another Katya. Oh, it's actually the same Katya? Oh, yeah. It's actually the same people. It's just going twice. Alright, I think it's just like a bug. But anyway, thank you to so much all of these people, man. Katie, Say, Jim, Tom. If any of these people, man, want to get your work critiqued, please send it on my email, angelganif6@gmail.com. That's what I'm doing on these live streams. I'm answering questions. I'll be talking about my artwork, doing overpaints, I have notes for everybody. So if you're watching this stream and you still haven't sent me your work, please do so I can give you feedback and we can get better together, bitch. DJ says, speak at that pitch next time we call. No, baby, I can't. This my pitch level for everybody. You know what I'm saying? This my pitch level for I got people watching me. Once we get into a call, everybody in my mentorship know. Once we get into a call one by one, I get real calm. I'm like, oh yeah, baby, what's up? Yeah, really, like I become cool, but all of a sudden I got people watching me. I'm like, what's up? Anyway, oh shit, we got my boy Christy, man. Hey, can you take mine early? I got a house showing in 40 minutes. Sure. Okay, let's start with Christy. Let's start with Christy, and then we're gonna go to Joshua if he's still here. Cause they nice people. What can I say? They just nice. I got a lot of work to go through. By the way, yeah, I gotta thank my patrons. I also wanted to Chris says, did you get my mail this morning? I was kind of late for the stream. I think I did, boy. I think I did. I got your work right here. It's right on the Christian. I was just wondering, who the fuck is Christian? And then I was like, oh, that's my boy Chris. Because I always, man, why is your Gmail Christian? And don't people just call you Chris, man? Fucking Christian? It sounds way too serious. DJ says, so we can confirm that I've been playing Connect Dots for you. Oh yeah. DJ, man. DJ said that they think he's been making fun of him because I made DJ to do dots. Yeah, that's really happening, man. A really great exercise. I'm really gonna get to Christy, by the way. I just wanted to show you this exercise that I showed DJ, and everybody should be doing if you're having problems with your lines. So, by the way, I'm still kind of sick, so my throat kind of fucked up. My fucking nose fucked up. We here, though. So if you're having problem with your lines, and really that's pretty much every beginner in intermediate, in order to warm up, I've always said you should be doing circles, you should be doing lines, but something that I don't really talk about is connect the dots. So you do two dots and you just try to connect them, right? And the longer it is, obviously the oh, I fucking nailed this one. Obviously, the longer it is, the harder it's gonna be, right? And try to make it in different angles. Try to just get it, because when you're first starting out, man, like your lines just look really fucking, you know what I'm saying, like really fucking just weird, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta get them. You gotta get them hot. You know what I'm saying? Like they gotta be straight. They gotta be confident. Like really, it's just like a confidence thing. Like the more your hand practices, and really try to block off your hand. Like you're not doing the wrist thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't be doing lazy drawing when you're. Let me show you on the camera. You're not doing this shit where you're just kind of drawing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not just moving your wrist. Like you're moving your whole arm. You know what I'm saying? Like let me show you actually. See how when I'm doing the circle, see how actually the line, see how like my whole arm is moving, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even looking at the screen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just like the whole arm is moving. Anyway, Chris says, yeah, Christian is my legal name. Bitch, fucking change it. Chris sounds so much more swag. I haven't been making fun of him. I said it's a good practice. Oh, really though? Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of believed him. I'm sorry for slandering you. It's okay, bye. That's funny. By the way, Nathan, man, what's up with your work? I want to see your work, man. Did you send me some last week? I haven't seen it. I want to see everybody's work, man. Just I want to push you motherfuckers to paint more, okay? Everybody should be painting more. Anyway, I also wanted to break down the process of this, of my latest portrait, and really talk about it, because I felt like it was an interesting piece, but I'm gonna do that after Christy, because she said she gotta go. So first of all, let's start out with Christy, man. And oh boy, I hope I can get to everybody's work though, because I don't want to be streaming here until fucking 10 o'clock. But we gotta do it. We gotta do. So Christine, man, I'm really happy that she's been doing more practicing. We actually had a mentorship call this weekend, and I told her about some things about edges and kind of like using bigger brush strokes and all these things. Nathan says I've been trying to, but I haven't had the time because of my program, so I don't have anything new yet. Okay, but as soon as you do though, you know who to send it to. Okay, I'm gonna roast your ass as nobody else can. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, Christine did this study of a guy, and kind of wanted to talk about it. Pretty much noticing the same kind of mistakes that she's been having. I see her kind of using like a textural sort of a brush, which I think she told me that she's been experimenting with some different brushes from Procreate, which there's nothing wrong with, but I feel like she's still kind of slacking with the edges. So that's really my biggest critique for this artwork, Christine. Just focus more on the edges, man. I see you're using the same type of an edge everywhere, right? That's why you kind of get this really soft beginner look to your portrait. Like the one with the girl was a lot better because again, the edges were a lot more dynamic. So really try to push. Let me open it in Photoshop and kind of give you a little bit of feedback on those edges. What did the people say? Nathan says I don't have time. I'm watching Angel critique about other people's work. Hey, yeah, but you know what it is, like you gotta watch Angel though. Like that's first priority. Like I think that's over fucking eating. Joshua says I gotta go, just do mine at the end. Oh, okay, man. I'm sorry to see you go, man. Just watch that afterwards, okay? Talk to you later. So Christine, really, of course, as always, fucking liquefying in the beginning. First of all, a lot of people got the problem when they're doing the front view of a portrait. They really just widen everything. You know, they kind of just the whole proportions, especially this part right here, and I'm gonna show you right now. This part right here between the cheekbones and the eyes is usually too wide, and the reason for that is because when it's in the front view, there's like no amount of perspective because everything is kind of flat. And I've said it before, man. Even though people think that front view is like the easiest one, it's actually the hardest because there's literally no you know, there's no fucking perspective. When you're doing, even when you're doing like a side view, at least there's like no other eye. You don't have to worry about symmetry. But when you're doing the front view, man, it's just, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm saying if you're having problem with that, just know what it's coming from. It's because you're doing so much front view that you don't really understand the perspective and everything. But just let me show you just real quick, right? Just two simple brush strokes of a liquify. Look at how much better that looks, right? Just kind of making the jaw a little bit sharper. And I totally had a problem with that, and I think everybody does, which is everybody makes the face a lot more square than it should be. If you actually look at the face, there's a lot of really interesting angles, especially right here on the side. So if you look at it here, see how this line, this line, this line, this, see how they're all at an angle, right? And if you look at what Christine did, like, it's pretty much just one straight line, you know. I mean, she tried to, she gave it her best, but I'm saying just push it even more. And especially with angles and things like that, you really need to exaggerate it a little bit. So something that I'd probably do right here where the hair is, I'd probably push it even more, right? Just kind of closer to the face. Look at that. Two simple brush strokes. I swear this makes a difference, right? Just two simple brush strokes and a liquify, and see how it just kind of brings the whole face. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit, I've been live streaming for 12 minutes. What the fuck happened? Dude, this time be flying. Anyway, let me get to the point though. So yeah, just think about the dynamics of the face a little bit more. I really want you to spend attention. I think I explained to Christine how to measure. So really spend some time kind of measuring the angles, and especially when you're working on the side of the face, really try to exaggerate the angles, right? And I've seen other people use this reference. I also want you to kind of try to draw the beard, right? So go in with like a sort of a texture brush. I don't know how you do it, but it's a good practice to just kind of practice drawing subtle, what was that called? Stubble? Fucking, you know, when you have a little bit of beard. Yeah, just try to get that. I mean, only if you're in that intermediate stage where Christine is. If you're a total beginner, I'd advise you to actually do not be drawing beards, right? Because you're just kind of get you fucked up. So my technique for, you know, a small amounts of beard is really going in with a texture brush and kind of laying some softer texture brush strokes, and then going in with like a really small brush and just kind of adding some individual hairs. And really important, you gotta go in with a lighter color, right? So I'm not only using the blacker color, I'm also using like a lighter one to actually show that there's like smaller individual hairs. DJ says Mr. Man of Steel is very edgy, man. He really is. Christine says I got one wired the beard too, but that was hard. What is weird? I got one weird word. I don't know what that means. Probably like she tried to, but I don't know. Just look at that, like really simple. Just and I know you guys always like whenever I do an overpaint, everybody's like, Angel, you make it look so easy. I'm sorry. I've been painting for fucking 7 years. You know, I what can I say? You know what I'm saying? But it's really, man, this shit is easy. Okay, if you practice enough and you really understand what you're doing, look at that. Motherfucker over here looking way more handsome and manly. Nathan says, what if I don't know if I'm an intermediate or a beginner? Oh, Nathan, you know, my guy, you know you're an intermediate. Oh, Christine says I got one with the beard too, but that was hard. Yeah, God, that's kind of like the point though. Like it's gotta be hard so you can learn shit. You know what I'm saying? DJ says, Nathan, you're a professional. Well, I don't know about professional, but you're definitely an intermediate. So okay. He says, don't lie to me. No, man, I'm an asshole. Okay. I think I've kind of proven to you guys that I can be mean for no reason. So when I'm giving you a compliment, just fucking take it, okay? Nathan, you're good, man. You gotta focus more on practicing regularly, okay? So this is kind of for the proportions. Chris says, by the way, Angel, you don't draw guys, so how you know how they should look like? Oh, that's kind of true. That's kind of true. But you know, back in my day though, like back like fucking 5 years ago, I used to draw a lot of guys. No, really, the reality is, you know, let's be honest, like guys just don't get likes. So there's not really any reason for me to be drawing guys. But actually, I think I did a study of these pictures though. So let me let me just show you. Let me just you know what I'm saying. I'm probably not gonna find it because it's I don't know where I put it, but I see I did a guy over here, huh? What about that? I mean, he kind of a lesbian, so not sure if that counts, but I also did another lesbian, Jaden Smith over here. I've been drawing guys. I've been doing it. I think I got like one guy every year. I don't know. I don't know where the black one is. Well, anyway, let's get back to that. I get distracted way too easily. Nathan says that don't lie to me was a DJ. Oh, I know you're sincere with your compliments. Oh, okay, boy. You better. You fucking better. I don't like this cocky angel. He's so radical. What does radical even mean? Alright, I got fucking distracted again, but I got a chicken now. Radical. Especially of a change or action relating to or affecting the fundamental nature of something. Far-reaching or thorough.
Radical.
That's how you pronounce it. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it kind of sounds like a compliment. Hey, you kind of radical. It sounds like I don't know what it sounds like. And lesbians are so cute. I know, Anna. I know, baby. Thank you. That was directly towards me. So anyway, that's kind of for the proportions for Christine. And really just think more about edges, man. Like, you gotta really assess edges. You know, you really gotta... Oh, look at me using hard words and shit. So if you look at the nose right here, this is supposed to be a really hard edge. Everywhere there's shadows, everywhere there's like drop shadows. So right over here, you know, the eyebrows, and you really gotta you gotta exaggerate that shit, right? Like right here as well. And I mean, it's a pretty hard reference to draw from because everything looks the same, and if you draw it the same, it'll just kind of look weird. So you really gotta understand. First of all, you kind of push the nose. He kind of look like he has his nose broken, so you gotta fuck that around a little bit. But yeah, you just gotta kind of have to understand. Look at that, by the way. That nose was just that nose was swirling. Like, dude, that nose looked like a river, like fucking Niagara over here. Look at that nose. That nose was just going crazy. Like he was just like swimming and everything. God damn. So really, you gotta have to understand what type of an edge there's gonna be. So really assess it. Like for example, right here, there's gonna be a hard edge. Right here on the drop shadow of the nose, and look at how much of a difference it makes. Like literally 2 brush strokes, you know, of that nose hard edge, and it just makes it look like that's supposed to be a shadow. Because before it just kind of like everything looks so super soft, and it's just, you know, it looks like a faded photo. Like for example, over here in the nose, there's gonna be a really hardcore shadow, and I know it's kind of different because with Procreate, I'm not sure exactly, like, you know, you have to be and by the way, this reflective light is way too strong, so maybe kind of hide it a little bit. So yeah, man, just be thinking about these edges, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, over here, you're actually gonna have a way more of a softer edge, you know. Over here, you're gonna have a hard edge. Like see right here where there's like a super hard edge, like this shit right here, you know what I'm saying? Like it kind of goes like that. Like this plane right here is gonna be super hard. So if you actually show that, let me do a new layer and show you that. So you do a super hard edge over here, and then you just soften it on one side. And see how that just makes you, and by the way, your whole plane should be a lot longer because you have to show that, you know, like this right here is gonna be a different plane. This right here is gonna be a different plane than this, right? Like you gotta show, that's the thing, you gotta be showing the planes. Like this is gonna be a different plane than this, and the way you show that is through a transition, right? So right here is gonna be way harder of an edge. So this edge right here is gonna be way harder, and then here is gonna be a lot softer. So it kind of goes hard and it gets softer with the cheeks. Chris says the nose is kind of swimming in the reference too, though. Got some plastic surgery done, aka liquefy. Oh really? Oh yeah, I think the nose is kind of swerving. Oh shit, Christine over here kind of noticing shit. Oh yeah, but by the way, look at that. look at that cheek though. See how I just made it kind of sharper on the top and just softer on the bottom. Like you just gotta be thinking about this shit, man. I swear, you don't just go in. And I mean I know I talk and paint and I fucking listen to audiobooks or whatever, but it's just you gotta be thinking about this. For example, right here on the wrinkles, there's gonna be a shorter, a darker fucking shadow as well. So see how that shadow just kind of makes it look rounder because it just kind of adds a little bit more form. I don't know, man. It's just small stuff like that. You're doing pretty good, Christine. Let me not get over fucking whelming. You just gotta notice more. For example, there's gonna be a harder edge right here at the hair. You know, it's just small things. I don't think even explaining it is kind of gonna get you better. And by the way, right here in the hair, you don't really have any darker, like darkest shadows. Like you really, but by the way, good job on the hair. I really like it. I kind of like that you applied my trick with the lightning, with the highlight. But you need an additional layer of where you're gonna be doing just hardcore shadows. So let me show you real quick. I swear, man, always my fucking first over paint, I always do like fucking 20 minutes. I explain my fucking soul, and then I don't have enough time, and I just end up being like, hey man, I mean, you're doing pretty good, you know, I'm gonna see it next week, you know, like just keep going. And then the first critique is always like, oh my god, like you should change this little hair over here. There's way too much darkness over here. It's just like, nah man, it's just, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with giving everybody enough attention. So yeah, just look at that. Just a couple of brush strokes in the hair just kind of makes it a lot more 3D. Just always be thinking about those deep pockets of shadow. So anyway, this is like the little overpaint with me talking and shit, but just kind of think about the proportions and then think about the edges. But you're doing pretty good, Christine, so keep going. Let me close that. Christine, yeah, there's no new comments though. I was just ready to read some comments, but there's no new comments. Anyway, let me get real fast. Let me focus. I'm gonna focus. Let me talk about this artwork real quick. So I found this beautiful reference from what was the guy name though? Brandon Wolfel. So I found this reference and I was like, oh shit, like oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay. So I gotta do something. And I was thinking, I don't really like the face, like the lighting is kind of shitty and everything, which I really I feel like it affected my work because whenever there's like not enough lighting and everything, it just kind of, you know, it makes everything a lot flat, a lot more flat. So Chris says 2.5 pounds every week for Angel to say you're doing pretty good. Hey, but you know what I'm saying? It's Angel though. It's not, you're just not giving this 2.5 pounds. And by the way, it's not even pounds, motherfucker. It's dollars. Who the fuck working in pounds? Fucking British guy over there. Oh, you're welcome, Chris. You're welcome. I mean, Christine. Nathan says he's a supportive mother. Don't judge him, Chris. That's true. That's true. I'm a supportive mother. That's what lesbian mothers are like. You know, they're like, they know that they're not the real mother, so at least they can be supportive. At least they can be like, hey, you're doing, you know, I'm not your mother, because, you know, I'm not really into guys fucking me, but, you know, you're gonna find your skills somewhere out there with your real. Just go play with your father. Just fucking leave me alone to eat some pussy. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. True, we should be grateful for our lesbian mother. See, everybody agreed. Anyway, I'm gonna ignore the comments. I'm sorry for like a little second because I get too distracted. So I saw this reference and I also thought about this artwork that I kind of was staying in the back of my mind, just thinking about how can I steal this. Like I saw this probably 2015, man. I've been thinking about this artwork for fucking 4 years, thinking about how and when can I steal this, right? How can I take advantage out of this artwork? And I swear I have so many artworks in the back of my mind that I'm like, I'm just waiting for the right reference to pull up and I'm gonna steal it, right? And I thought about this. I spent some time in my folder. That's why you gotta keep a folder, because if you saw this on the internet, you don't save it, how are you gonna use it, huh? You're not gonna use it. So you gotta be saving this shit. And just look at this fucking painting, man. Just the orange, the green, kind of like, even like the deep dark reds over here. I don't know if you can see them on YouTube, but it's just perfect. It's just perfect. So I was kind of thinking about applying the same kind of mood and everything to this artwork, to this reference. And the main thing is really kind of working on the skin, because if you look at the skin in the original reference, this is why you should never be using anything with flat lighting, because like there's literally no information in here. Like, dude, it was so hard for me. I've painted fucking 2,000 portraits by now. It was still hard for me to pull up any sort of form in here. And even though I'm kind of happy with the end result, it still kind of feels flat, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I added this lighting, because it was just, everything just felt so fucking flat. So always be using references with full type of lighting. DJ says, damn, I can't think about my lunch in half an hour. Doing heist in the art industry seems hard. I don't know what heist is, but I'm gonna think it's something good. So really, I was thinking about this artwork on the left, and I was thinking about just adding these kind of colder values to the highlights. I think that's the main thing, because if you look at this, the reason why it's so flat, first of all, it doesn't have any core shadows and no like type of drop shadows or anything, but just the hues and everything is just so similar. Like, you know, like if you open it in Photoshop, just everything looks the same. And this one, just it has so much color transition, so I really try to apply that. So let me show you real quick the process. I've really been working on my Procreate with the line art. So the line art was done in Procreate. I first started off with a little rough sketch. If you didn't see me on Instagram, I took some references of myself, and somebody on Instagram said, dude, you're so lucky for working with the exact type of, for having the exact type of face that you need to be working from. Like, he was like, dude, you're working from, you need to paint this kind of a shy, awkward girl, you know, young looking girl. Like, you could have the exact type of a face for that. And I was like, I know, like, thank God I don't draw barbarians, because I can't find a fucking reference for barbarians. So anyway, I took these references for kind of like the hands and everything. I don't know why I'm even explaining to these guys, man. I don't know. I was kind of happy with this artwork because it just kind of like implemented everything that I've been kind of talking about. And something really important that I wanted to show you, because I actually have it written in my notes, is this whole idea of build up. So I've talked about this, but it's so fucking important. I can't even stress it enough. So every time you're painting, you really need to build up the values, the edges, just pretty much just build everything. And I wanted to show you that even though there's a lot of different steps in this artwork, even the first from the first step, it still kind of looks finished. You know, I mean, it looks faded. It doesn't look cool, but it still looks kind of balanced, you know? And I feel a lot of people have the problem with that. Like, they're just, holy shit, there's a lot of comments. Heist means stealing, basically. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. A whole lot of stealing. Damn, I can only draw 14-year-old boys. Hey, man, you gotta do this sex change now. You know what's up. You got huge hands, dude. Do I really though? No, I think it was the selfie thing. It's kind of like look at my hands. And by the way, you know that shit that they say, big hands, big dick? Totally not true, okay? Fucking, my feet are huge, my hands are huge, you know? Personal experience, man, totally not true. Meaty hands. Anna says, it's a cute facial expression. It's easier to make a reference yourself than search on the internet. I do it too. Oh yeah, totally. But not only for the reference, but you kind of experience the whole pose. Like, I feel like when you experience the pose, you're like, what does it mean to feel sad? You know, and you're like, oh, and it's just like, oh, that was just such a sexual noise. Oh, but like, you just pull up the eyebrows. You're kind of like, you're thinking about, you know, the facial expression. So you always gotta act out the facial expression that you want to paint. Chris says, I have too many pimples, so I can use my face as a ref. No, you totally can't, Chris. You gotta think outside of the box. You just have to be painting trolls, you know. Otherwise, you know, was that too harsh? I'm sorry, man. You know I got pimples too. You just gotta live with that shit. I got way too many pimples. Anyway, let me get back to the fucking. This is not Twitch, everybody, man. We're gonna have our fun and jokes on Twitch, okay? I want fucking shit to be serious here, even though that's really gonna be hard. Pimples add character. That's totally true. That's totally true, Nathan. And Anna says, like the cat from Shrek. Yeah, I don't know the cat from Shrek, but I kind of picture that she has pimples. So, going back to what I was saying about this artwork, I feel like a lot of people have a problem with not only colors but just values in general. Like they're just trying to go in and just add the darkest dark, just add like as much as possible just so they can finish as fast as possible. And really something that you have to be thinking about is this whole concept of build up. So you can see how when I'm doing this, if you squint, like there's not really any type of lights and darks. Like everybody, I mean the hair is kind of darker than the skin, but it's nothing close to what I painted in the end. Like for example, I think like what a lot of people would do if they were to paint this, like they would immediately start with painting the shadows of the leaves, or like painting the darkest like color of the hair, and just like the darkest parts of the eyes, and see how I'm not saying that my way is the only way. I just kind of wanted to teach you that what I've learned along fucking with painting and shit. So really, like, you gotta see how I start out with the local color. So whether it's the leaves, the skin, the hair, I'm always thinking about what's that color underneath gonna be like, and then I just kind of add the color transitions, like the orange. I add some orange in the cheeks. I had some highlights in the hair, but again, I'm just thinking about, even though there's a lot more color in this, it's still the same value. I'm still not adding a lot of shadows or lights. Don't be so quick. And I'm gonna talk about, I wanted to mention this really because I'm gonna talk about it later, but Christian had a problem with that. I mean, Chris, dude, it feels so weird to be calling you Christian. Let me Chris, yeah. Chris had a problem with that, and I'm gonna get to it, so you better fucking listen now, Chris. So, really, you gotta notice how, even when I get to shadows, I still don't add, like, the darkest darks of the shadows. Like, see, like, it's really in layers, and every one of these steps looks like it can be a finished one, and it's all about you just taking it and building it up and thinking about what's the next step gonna be. Like at no point am I just adding details for the sake of adding details. Like everything is really put out together, and I kind of wanted to discourage everybody from this whole idea of fantasy portraits. Like I don't know, that might be like a bad advice, but I just feel like, and I feel it in me, like I've painted so many portraits, and the fucking moment that you take out all of my references away, I start painting the same eyes and the same nose that you always see me painting. It's really just, you kind of get stuck doing the same thing, and I know I always do the same thing. So that's why I'm really been pushing myself to be doing a lot more different things. But I think it's kind of like about awareness as to where you're at. Like if you try to paint it, like if I try to paint this like 2 years ago, I don't think I could push it to the fucking level that I could push it today, obviously. And I feel like, I could have spent that time, what I practically did, just studying all the things that allow me to get to this point, rather than me just trying to get to this point, immediately. What I'm trying to say is be aware about where you're at, and just kind of like think about what is the proper exercise that you have to be doing, and really just focus on that. Okay, don't try to get the cart in front of the horse and all this shit. And I've been ranting a lot, but I hope that kind of helps. And really just another thing I wanted to mention is, actually, until this stage, I still haven't merged any of the layers. So I still haven't started rendering, like practically rendering, which is like blending of colors and all this shit. I still haven't done none of that. So really, this is where it actually begins, the rendering. And really the rendering is just kind of like merging everything and fixing proportions and just kind of like adding a little bit of edges and everything. But really, man, I really want to tell you that rendering is kind of useless. I mean, it's kind of useful at the end to fix things, but you shouldn't be relying on rendering. And the reason why I'm saying that, and I hope fucking people that have the biggest problem with that, like Chris has a problem with that, Joshua has a problem with that, like just pretty much everybody, man, just don't be rushing to merge everything and just try to fix it with painting, because it doesn't go well. And I'm gonna talk about it later in Joshua, but just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, because Joshua is rushing so hard to fix everything with painting, like this is the only sketch that he'll do, and then he just starts painting with colors. And if you actually look at the way he does facial features, there's really these like he's getting so much better with planes, like the colors and everything is getting so much better, but I still like it feels super weird and plasticky because he's really trying to figure out where everything is supposed to be and fix it with the paint. Like he's not relying on his sketch, you know, because I don't know why it is, because he's too lazy to do a sketch. But that's a beautiful breakdown. But you need to have um, another cleaning of this on top of this. You know, I'm not saying be super, you know, clean with, and I mean it's probably my fault because I always say don't do fucking super clean lines, but also don't do fucking rough lines. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like finding out this balance, and it's really it's kind of become a bigger problem for Joshua, because you can kind of see it in here. I think this is the final. You can kind of see it in here with the eyes, man. It just, everything feels so fake because he's trying to reproduce those edges with these brush strokes, which is actually cool because he learns it. You know, he's really starting to understand edges and really anatomy and planes and stuff like that. But in order to get a better painting and to really practice your rendering and all these things, I feel like you need to clean out your line art and don't rush to fucking merge everything, because you end up with all these weird effects and that kind of amateurish look. So I hope that fucking helps, but I'm gonna get back to it. Oh yeah, DJ says, oh yeah, I forgot I just bought an iPad, so now I have to care about Procreate. Oh yeah, it's kind of tough in the beginning, where you kind of get used to it. It's pretty much similar to Photoshop. Chris says, I want an iPad, too poor and lazy. Yeah, that's because you're giving your boy 2.5 pounds per week. But you know, it's all about the pounds. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of like the two things I wanted to mention about this artwork. Is really be building up the colors. Think about what your next move is gonna be. Like I do the local colors, then I do the adding of you know, different type of saturation and shit, and then I start doing the shadows. I do a little bit of lights, and then I do darker shadows, and then I even have another fucking go with the shadows, and I'm constantly just deepening the form. You know, I'm not just going in with the final dark and being like, okay, this is gonna be the final dark, everything else, you know, is gonna be cool. Like it's not, you just kind of build it up the same way that I showed you to build up the hair with Christine. You know, see how I just added those deeper pockets? Like that's what makes the form just you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm gonna really going too deep with this shit, but and then finally I did like a color what is it called, fucking color correction in Lightroom, and I'm gonna do a long tutorial on that on YouTube, so that's coming. But another thing is, don't be overthinking about the color that much. Like the color is important. The most important thing about color is kind of like the transitions. So the only thing you can change, you cannot change after you're done with the artwork, is kind of like the transition. So if you have good color transition, you have like saturated good colors, you can change their hue, you can kind of change the vibe of the piece. Like see how much that looks a lot more kind of like a faux piece. Like this one kind of looks faded and shit, this one looks a lot more contrast and shit. Like there's a lot of filters and shit I'm gonna show you in the future, but really the most important thing is kind of like the transition. So don't be thinking that much about, you know, how am I gonna create this like teal and orange effect. It's more about how are you gonna create that transition to make it look natural. Like once you have a natural painting, then you can kind of edit it and make the shit better. But is it only me, or am I slaying this shit right now? Like with the explanations, like god damn, man, all I'm saying is pretty good. That's all I'm saying. DJ says, is sketching on Procreate and painting on Photoshop make your workflow easier or not? Actually, I don't know if it makes it easier, but it definitely, I feel like it's been introducing a different style to my work, because the lines have this really interesting texture that I'm not sure how to recreate in Photoshop. Like I'm using this brush, I think it's called the scale brush. So if you go to Procreate, you go to calligraphy, there's like a scale brush, and I also use the dry brush. But lately I've just really been using the scale brush because I read that Loish have been using that, and I'm like, bitch, if Loish is using that, I gotta use it too. And then I make all of my lines, I go to color balance, and I make them completely red. So that's another thing I found in Procreate that doesn't really work in Photoshop. If you go to Photoshop and you have a completely, something is completely black, you go to color balance, try to make it red, it just doesn't work. Like preserve luminosity, whatever the fuck you press, it just doesn't, it stays black, right? And in Procreate, if you go to something black and you try to make it red, it just becomes red. And I really like the effect of that. You know, it kind of like, you can see it like it produces these really red lines, and I don't know, it just kind of feels supernatural. And going back to this artwork that I really liked, and it was inspired by, I think it's Rebecca Ninning. Yeah, Rebecca Ninning that created it. Like she kind of has that in her work. You know, you can kind of see the red type of shadows. But all I'm trying to say is, don't, like, that was like my initial mistake with Procreate and Photoshop. Like I always try to do the things the same way, you know, like you gotta experiment a little bit and really embrace whatever program that you're working with. Like don't try to, you know, like I get people all the time like being like, man, where are you gonna transition your Photoshop brushes to Procreate? I don't think I will even do that. Like the whole process in painting in Procreate is completely different. Like I don't think the problem is gonna be that I don't have the same brushes. Like it's just a bigger problem. Like you just you need to change your whole style of painting, you know. And that's why I was kind of worried about Christine, because you know she's working in Procreate completely now, and I wasn't really sure what to advise her to be using. But I just know that you need to be using bigger brushes and working on edges. So really what I'm trying to teach you here is kind of like more of the basic fundamentals and principles that I'm using, and kind of show you my technique. You know, I want you everybody to eventually go out there and kind of find out your own technique and kind of like come up with your own little tips and tricks, because you know really like nobody wants to be a copycat. So I think you, what you should be focusing on now is kind of like learning the fundamentals and learning the kind of like my technique and the things I talk about, but really just constantly be thinking outside of the box. You know, like just that thing with the red lines, I don't even know where it came from. Like I was just thinking, I don't want to be working with, because the lines were so harsh, I was like, I want them to be kind of colored. And you know what, it kind of produces like this really cool effect. Like it's just, you know what I'm saying, like it's just the small things. But for now, just focus on the fundamentals. Nathan says, do you use LR for all your pieces? What the fuck is LR though? DJ says, because the iPad isn't my priority and I basically got an iPad for Microsoft Windows. What? You got an iPad for Microsoft? How you do that? I don't think, does an iPad go with fucking, dude, I have 12 minutes, god damn. I need to really speed it up. But what am I gonna say? Yeah, what the fuck is LR? Health and Beauty Systems. I'm pretty sure and Nathan is not, no, that's not what he meant. Nathan, what did you mean by LR, man? I don't know what the fuck that is. But yeah, DJ man, whatever the fuck you're using, man, it's just for now, especially for DJ man, you gotta practice your fucking lines, okay? So really focus on the lines and really focus on the exercises, and then you can worry about all this shit. Oh, it's Lightroom. Right. I'm sorry. I'm just like a Photoshop guy. Like if you tell me PS, I'm gonna know it's Photoshop. But LR, it sounded like a weird fucking meal. Hey, you eating that LR though? DJ says you saw my computer in the mirror. Yeah, it was pure shit. So I'm kind of glad you bought the iPad. Yeah, I use a lot of Lightroom, but if you don't have Lightroom or you don't want to install it or something, you can pretty much use the same tools. You should go to, where was it? Yeah, filter, camera, raw filter. So all of these things that I'm using in Lightroom, they're actually right over here, like exactly the same. Like I swear there's nothing else in I mean, there probably is, but I'm not using it. So everything that I'm using in Lightroom is right here in Photoshop. But I just kind of like the I like the fucking display of Lightroom. Just kind of like looking, I don't know, it just kind of feels better. So, but if you don't have it, you can have everything right here in Camera Raw. DJ says I'm boundless, you cannot control me, bitch. You pay your 2.5 pounds per week. So actually for you it's even more, because you're on the mentorship. You're paying 12.5 pounds per week. I like how I keep saying pounds. Anyway, let's get to people though, because I really am gonna be streaming for fucking 2 hours if I don't fasten my ass. So I really wanted to do this kind of rant for this piece because I really thought it was gonna be useful. And for all the people that I'm gonna be talking about now, I hope they watch that rant and really try to understand the basics and the fundamentals behind it. Because you guys, man, like you're practicing, you're getting better. I can see it. But if you don't focus on these kind of things, like it's just gonna take you a longer time. You know what I'm saying? So let's start with Anna. First thing I have right here. By the way, she wrote me this little email. She had a problem with her phone. Like her phone was giving. Look at that. Like her phone was giving different colors than her computer or something. If somebody know, Chris says, well, it's already been 45 minutes. Bitch, I know. What can I do? I love talking. I love attention. You guys know that. Fucking sitting over there taking advantage out of me with being funny and giving me compliments, huh? How about you stop that, huh? How about you be fucking nice with me and you stop giving me compliments, huh? How about that? Anyway, dude, I'm too jokey today. That's what it is. Let me drink some water. So Anna been kind of having this problem. I don't know what it is, man. I really think you should research it because you can kind of see how in her computer the hair is blue and then on the phone is completely purple. I don't know. She actually sent me an extra email kind of like showing me different examples. So I think it's only with certain colors or something, but I don't know. I really don't know what it is. I told you the fucking little trick with sRGB. She told me that it's not that. So I don't know what it is. I've never really experienced that. So you gotta fucking Google that. DJ says turn on blue light filter. Blue light filter. You might be using a yellow light filter. I don't know, because there is some colors that Instagram doesn't work with. Oh yeah. But I don't think that's even in Instagram though. Like that's only her phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, I don't know, man. You gotta research this. I don't know. But let me talk about your art though. She actually wrote me a little email. I drew a breakdown of the head by head. It took me 3 fucking hours, and then 2 fucking hours. Yeah, I like how she's cursing. You know what I love? I love seeing people like who don't have a perfect English, but they're also cursing. Like it just, I don't know. It just makes everything so much better. Like it's just like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like you have some grammar mistakes, but you're still cursing. That shows balls. Like you have balls right there. You know what I'm saying? I love people with balls. I try to convey this beautiful lighting with a strip of light. I don't like how much the colors on the laptop. Yeah. And I congratulate you on showing your art on the channel of Mr. Suicide Sheep. Oh, thank you. That's so cool. I wish your promotion, your ego, because you're one of my favorite artists. Oh, thank you, baby. Did she have a question though? Where did I save that? Oh, yeah, I guess I saved that only for the color thing. So her work with Draw with Angel is pretty good. Couple of things I wanted to mention. I actually wanted to critique this artwork, but I also wanted to mention a couple of things about this. So Anna, when you're working with colors like that, you really need to have sort of darker values, because I feel like the background right now is super dark. So really the purples and reds are not really standing out. Like if you kind of look at the one that I did, it kind of has a darker background, right? But there's also some darker values in the portrait itself. So if you actually look at the lines that I have in there, that kind of gives a lot more form, because you know you see those darker lines, especially in the hair and especially in the wings. Like I feel like your wings right now just don't have that form. So by the way, congratulations on the whole form of the face and everything. Like I really like the line. I mean the arm. The arm is really beautiful. The face is kind of cool. Yeah, just kind of have those deeper shadows. And when you're working with the light strip, I don't know what layer you did that on, because I feel like right here it kind of messed up or something. I don't know what you were trying to do, but I'd advise you to try out vivid light. So I usually go with vivid light, overlay, or color dodge, depending on which one, which effect I'm trying to go for. But look at how much better that's gonna look if you add a little bit of vivid light. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of make everything glow, because right now, I don't know, it just kind of looks like a weird yellow line, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I'd probably go with linear dodge, you know, just to kind of add that lightning in there. But I don't know, just play around with it. It kind of depends on the colors. But definitely look at that, just like a color dodge layer. Sorry, a linear dodge layer. You know what I'm saying? Kind of experiment with those layer modes. So let's get to the next artwork. So where it's add emotion. Oh, exactly. Chris says she probably need to calibrate her screen. Oh, maybe that's it. I don't know how you calibrate your screen, but you gotta Google it. So maybe try to do that. I copied a hand from a male reference. Oh, okay. That's kind of a cool trick. Yeah, I feel like her her triceps is a little bit too muscular, but I kind of like that. It kind of adds a little bit of character. And you see her butt cheeks in there, like listen, B, I'm gonna give you the best fucking twerking you've ever seen. But also, if you're not nice with me, I'm gonna fucking put you in a chokehold. You know, I just want you to know that. So both twerking and choking. You know what I'm saying? Fucking best combination ever. So the other artwork that Anna sent me is kind of like this study, and I'm kind of happy with it. Couple of things I wanted to mention. First of all, I kind of like the little trick that you did with the reference, with kind of like lining up the hair and everything. Dude, this, I just realized this might look kind of racist. Like you're trying to line up the reference. I'm not doing it, everybody, man. I know this is only for my patrons, but if this somehow kind of gets out of this space, I'm saying to people to lighten up the reference, not because of the color or the skin or something goofy like that, but because you don't really see, like, it's not only for black people, like it's for everybody. Like you don't really see any detail in the hair. You know, I'm only doing this for the hair. It's not about the skin anyway. But with that said, I feel like you actually went a little bit overboard. So that's why you kind of have this faded look. I kind of prefer the natural picture. It's not even natural. Dude, I feel so nervous right now to not say anything racist. But really, it's not. It's, God damn, this is scary. So yeah, I like the trick that you did with lighting it up, but maybe focus only on the hair. So when you're doing that with the reference, actually mask out only the hair, and then just go to brightness or shadows, whatever you did, and then just do it with the hair, because otherwise you kind of fuck it with the contrast, and you can kind of see how you lost some of those planes. So you can kind of see how in here you see a lot more of the structure of the face, and in here it's a lot more flat. So that's really the first thing. This shit says cancel. I'm gonna expose you on Gawker. What the fuck is Gawker though? Why do I have the need to always check what the fuck? I don't know. I have to check it now. Gawker. What the fuck is Gawker? Today's gossip in tomorrow's news. Man, why are you always showing me fucking stupid shit? Gawker. Actually, that sounds kind of interesting. Okay, Chris, go for it, man. I don't even know what the fuck Gawker is. Can they make me famous though? Maybe I'll go for that. So DJ says we're watching your moves now, Angel. And I like how he sent me like 3 dots. Like, okay. So that's really for that reference. And something really important that I wanted to mention for this artwork, and every time you kind of have high contrast for the skin, because I was really impressed with the previous work of Anna, and I was kind of like, it's like that artwork, like it has good form, it has good structure, but it's really missing something. And I was thinking about that, and really the problem that I feel like you had in here is you try to go too hard with the highlights. So remember why I talked about, and it's really important that I mention it here, is when I'm doing highlights or shadows, like I'm not going in with like the lightest light, you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm doing like things like this, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these highlights that you have right here on the skin. Like this shit, you went too hard with it. Like you just took too light of a color, and the final color should be this light, but you went too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to build up this color. Like while you're working with this gray, you really need to take 10 points higher, and then 10 more points, and then 10 more points. And the beautiful thing about doing that, it's not only that it makes the value better, but it also kind of introduces some interesting texture. So a lot of people, they don't try to build up the color like Chris right here. I'm sorry, Chris, but I'm gonna give you as a bad example, which you shouldn't be doing. Dude, my nose is fucking stiff right now. Let me blow my nose real quick. This quality content right here, everybody. So, even if you look at this work that Chris did, like, see how like he has the local color and then he just adds this highlight out of nowhere and like super fucking extreme. Like, look how much of a difference that is, right? Like, he just goes to this value, and then he just kind of slaps it in there, and then he expects that with a bunch of rendering he's gonna fix it, right? Like, it'll be so much better if you actually went about it slowly and you try to build it up. So when you try to build it up with like darker shapes and then darker brush strokes and then lighter brush strokes and then even lighter, you kind of get both the texture and you get both the color transitions. Like, when you slap the highlight color on top of a fucking, you know what I'm saying, like a darker color, you just get like it. At first it looks good, but then you start rendering it and you just kind of end up with this messy thing. So that's it for both Anna and Chris. Like, really try to work on not only your highlights but your shadows as well. Like, I feel like she went way too dark in here as well. Like, you, again, the weird thing is that you should be having those values, but it's really those mid getting there. And that's why I always say to people in our mentorship to be sending me your actual steps, because I want to see your steps as well, because it's important to actually get to that place with, you know, with like building it up, not just directly try to get there. But anyway, it's a beautiful breakdown that she did though. I really like the planes and everything, so that's pretty good. Just again, try to build it up. So that's really my critique for Anna. Chris says, which Chris is it though? Oh, you're the only Chris, bitch. The other one is Christine, but she's not Chris, she's Christine. DJ says, sell that on eBay. I don't know what that means. Nathan says, squinting your eyes in the piece helps check the values. Oh, that's another great trick as well. Really try to fucking squint your eyes and really try to look at the bigger things first and then get into the smaller things. Yeah, I wanted to put in the highlights first. Yeah, that's a big problem. Oh, DJ says sell that issue on eBay. Oh, bitch, you don't even know how much tissues I've produced last week. Like, I swear, like, you see how big this roll is? Like, it was literally twice as big. Like, I probably fucked up 100 tissues. Man, I wished I was popular enough to sell my fucking used tissues. I swear, I've only been getting sick. Like, I just force myself to get sick so I can sell my tissues. Like, that'll actually be my business. Like, just getting sick and blowing my... Oh, I can actually do that in the toilet too. Oh, bitch. I'm gonna get so famous just so I can do that. Anna says, thank you, I'll study the issue. Yeah, you better, baby. You're welcome. Try to do that and then send it for feedback. So next up is Chris. So I already talked about the highlight. I'm gonna get back to it. But first of all, what the fuck is this, Chris? Okay, what the... First of all, you didn't even get a reference. Do you realize that? That's actually a painting. That the one that you were working with, that's, if you know, with Rakli Nadar. I mean, I don't know if it's even a painting. Like, he might be using fucking photo textures and all this shit. I don't know what he's doing, but that's not the original photo. First of all, dude, Chris, I don't, like, you know we're friends, right? The conversation is about to get bad. Like, if you start with the words like, yeah, we're friends, right? Like that just, it's not going anywhere good. So first of all, Chris, we're friends, right? But what the fuck, my guy? First of all, you started using not an actual photo. You know what? Don't even trip over that, because I actually give people the fucking exercise to be studying other people's paintings, so that's kind of cool. But why the fuck did you get a picture that wasn't even the actual size? Like, see the actual size, like the face looks normal. Like, yours is just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, just what the fuck happened? Chris says, yeah, I know, I just got really depressed when I found that. Hit me hard, babe. Oh, baby, now you ruined all of the fun. Now you ruined... I wish I was the one to tell you. Now you're like, oh, I used to be really depressed when man, whatever. I was gonna go hard on you, but yeah, man, just be careful of your references and really like you were studying all of the proportions wrong and everything. Like, don't you see the face is kind of like, pushed fucking together? I don't know what it is. Just the width of the face. Like, see how tall it looks? Like, it just looks ridiculous. So, be careful when you're looking at that. You know what I'm saying, my man? But yeah, I think you kind of went at it pretty good. I don't know what the fuck this shit is. With the cyan, like half of the face is fucking cyanish or something. I don't know, man. I'm gonna pretend that I didn't see this. Okay, let's just say that this is the only work that you sent me. How about that? I think that's gonna be a lot better. But anyway, not to put you too much though. You're doing pretty good, man. Just think about the shit that I told you with the build up. And another thing, I can see it even in the hair, even in the shadows. Like, you try to go about the colors way too fast, man. Like, see this shadow color? Like, you directly went with a goddamn color. You know what I'm saying? Like, just no local colors, no nothing. That's why I really wanted to talk about this so much, because you know what I'm saying. Like, if you look at the final and you look at how I started, like, it's just fucking miles. You know what I'm saying? Like, see these leaves right here? Like, these leaves have nothing in common with these ones on the right, like with the finished ones. But that's why they look just kind of yummy, because they were built up. Like, they're just not, I didn't go in with the shadow color and everything. Jesus, Angel, you already made that point fucking 12 times. I know, but I just think it's like an important point. Anyway, am I going too hard? Chris says, so basically I was drunk that day. Yeah, you can say that. That's a good excuse. Too bad I don't drink alcohol, because I would have used that excuse. Every time I have a bad live show, I'll be like, hey, I was kind of drunk last time. But guys, I don't drink. So, yeah, but just pretty much everything, man. I kind of like how you did the hair. Like, the hair breakdown is fucking phenomenal. But again, you didn't build it up. Like, you just directly went in with the dark color and the highlights, and you try to mix them in. That's why that's why it's so flat, because it's literally two colors. So think about it, not only with the highlights, not only with the shadows, just with everything. Start out with the local color and then just build it up slowly. And I don't know what you did with the lines, because you kind of removed those planes in here, but you didn't really remove the other one. I don't know what you did, because I think you kind of have the same little problem with Joshua, is you don't have those core lines in there. Like, lines are really important, not only to show you where you're supposed to be painting, but to also really add that those deeper shadows. So if you actually look at, and I mean, that's kind of like why you see this beautiful effect in here with the red, because it's actually something that you're not used to be doing, to be looking at. But really, lines are there to kind of like help you show you where form is, right? And I know I do a lot of paintings where there's no lines, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to do that some other time. But it's kind of advanced, you know what I'm saying? Like, focus first on learning how to do it with lines, and then get without the lines, you know what I'm saying? DJ says, damn, Angel is a clean, holy child of God. I don't know what reference you said that to, but God knows I am. God knows I am. Chris says, I'm a cheater. I skip to the end, bruh. Well, yeah, but you're gonna end up with nothing. There's not. But by the way, I'm totally for cheaters. Like, I think myself as a cheater as well. Like, I fucking cheat in anything. Fucking school, fucking painting, like whatever. I just fucking cheat in it. But only, like, that's the problem with cheating. Like, oftentimes, that cheesy phrase, like, you're only cheating yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're cheating yourself with a painting, like, and I know you say that as a joke, but I don't fucking take jokes, okay? Partner, fucking do your shit. Anyway, Nathan says his name is Angel for a reason. That's goddamn right. That's goddamn right it is. So, yeah, man, just think about that, okay? Think about all the nonsense that I've been talking for the last hour. So, let's get to, I already talked about Christine. Oh, it's only Joshua left? Oh shit, I got only one more person. We're only talking for an hour and 5 minutes. Okay, we're gonna be right on time. Gonna be right on fucking time. And you know what? I already almost talked about Joshua anyway. Fucking, I'm done. I'm fucking done. So, Joshua, man, you've been doing pretty good. He's been doing more color studies. I really like the self-portrait. Like, you can kind of see he been playing with some color variation. Like, ah, god damn, look at that mouth. God, that's a sick mouth. In like the good sense, though. Dude, look at, oh, he been playing with some violets. Like, there's some desaturated colors. Some, oh, this nasty right here. But, like, in a good way. You know what I'm saying? And see how Joshua actually built up, you know, everything I talked about. Like, he kind of built up the color, the transitions. He's doing pretty good. He's trying to fucking work on edges. Even the hair is pretty good. Like, that hair is a killer. But just one thing, man. Just one thing. Work more on the lines. Because you try to fix everything with a fucking... Oh, and by the way, holy shit. Let's pay some respect. I know he's not even in the chat. So maybe that's gonna be even more embarrassing when he watches this. But let's take a moment just to look at Joshua's pretty face. I mean, I think that's worth spending a couple of minutes on, or maybe seconds. I don't know. He's just beautiful, man. Look at that face. God damn. God fucking damn. Chris says, I'm like the guy who cheats on the exam and still gets 0 points. Oh, dude, that's exactly it. That's exactly, that's a great, no, you know what you are? You're like the guy who cheats on the exams, but actually he spent some time at home cheating. Like, he actually, you know, he was like, oh, I'm gonna cheat from here. Like, he actually, like, just didn't go to the exam and cheated. Like, he cheated at home and then went to the exam and got fucking 0 points. DJ says, oh, Joshua, the college boy with the beat headphone. Oh, by the way, I like how I'm just talking to everybody. I have a zoomed in picture of Joshua. Oh, look at that eye. Oh, I so wish you were in the chat, Joshua. I really wish you were here. But anyway, yeah, man, just, you're going way too fast. Like, that's a beautiful breakdown. The proportions are great. Everything is great. Just, actually, you know what? I think this one is perfect, though. The one that I have problems with is this one. So, and kind of like this. Like, this is not enough line art to kind of start painting. You know what I'm saying? Because, and again, those studies are great for learning color, for learning proportions, learning about portraits. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you're doing everything correct, okay? I'm saying if you want to start producing better results, and I kind of like what you try to do here with the abstract things, but actually, is that the final? I highly doubt that's the final. Oh yeah, it's actually, that's the final. Okay, but yeah, just see how it looks kind of weird with when you don't really have the lines in there and you're really trying to mask out everything with a pair. Anna says I'm gay too. Oh baby, you better be. This whole chat is full of gays. I don't know what the fuck you're doing here if you're straight. I mean, unless you're a girl. Actually, no, I'm a lesbian, so actually, if you're sleeping with me and you're a girl, you should be a lesbian. Ooh, it was kind of a useful live stream. But yeah, man, I want you to kind of focus more on the line art, and I'm not saying to make it like harder or anything. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. Like, those planes are great. Like, oh my god, this breakdown of the face with the planes and everything, fucking perfect. But draw that just so you know that it's there, like these planes and everything, but then actually erase them and work a little. You know what, we got some time. Let me pull up this in Photoshop and show you real quick. So what I want you to be doing with this reference, start out with exactly what you're doing, just to kind of figure out. Chris says everyone was gay when Angel started moaning. Oh, that's totally true. I don't know what gender you are, I don't know what sexuality you are, but I start moaning, bitch, you wet. Just fucking admit it. So I want you to start, Joshua, I want you to start out with the same fucking sketch, right? It's beautiful for breaking down and everything. But after you're done with this, pretend that this is an eraser. You know what? I'm actually gonna do it with an eraser. Let's put another layer down. So I want you, after you're done with this, to actually go in with the same lines and just kind of erase all of those planes that you're not gonna be using. So I'm not pressing too hard, because I still kind of wanted to see them there when I'm painting, but I'm not leaving them in there to kind of look super awkward. So you kind of erase the lines that you're not going to be needing, and you kind of clean up and you add more weight. That's really the word I was looking for. You add more weight to the ones that you would need. So if you look at the reference, where is the reference? Yeah. If you look at the reference, really the lines that you should add are the ones that there's gonna be light. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me do a little 5-minute example of this. Let me pull out the reference and everything. So really the lines that you should have, of course, again, start adding those lines in the beginning just to kind of figure out the planes and everything. That's really useful. By the way, what's up with her Arnold fucking Armstrong fucking chin? Girl over here, dude, looking like she a businessman or something. And that eye is way too small and it's way to the left. Like if you actually pull up a line from the nose up, like it should hit the tear duct. Like it was way to the side, and this one needs to go down and to the side a little bit. And then the hair needs to go down. There's some problems and shit, but you know, overall you're doing pretty good. So after you kind of clean up the lines, for example, just to kind of give you an example in this, let me get a bigger fucking resolution. For example, this line in here, like the nose is really gonna be in here, like the wing of the nose is gonna be in here. But if you look at the reference, like there's no line in there. So for you to leave this line in here, it's not really gonna make a lot of sense because you're gonna have to overpaint it. And the same goes for this line. So you have to be drawing all of these lines that you're gonna need and that are actually there but you don't see them, just to kind of figure out the proportions. But then after that, you only leave the lines that you're gonna need, like only the ones that you're gonna see. For example, like these two lines, you don't really see them in there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like something I don't think I actually explained before. So that the problem is in me. You know what I'm saying? But now is the future. You know that phrase, like now is the future. So yeah, I'm explaining it now. And not only is it about cleaning out lines, but it's also about making the ones that you're gonna need just kind of heavier, you know, just adding more weight. Like for example, her eyes look really fucking flat. You really need to go in and make her be adding more weight to the eyes, like the eyelashes and everything, and just the whole form of the eyes are just kind of fucked up. But let me not focus on that. So if you add more eyelashes and line weight to the eyes, that later is gonna make the eyes a lot more full, because what you try to do is you realize that when you started painting it, oh yeah, that's exactly it. When you started painting it, see how there's no lines in here, because obviously you're not gonna be using these lines in here because they're super rough. So what you do is you remove the line work and you start just painting, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have any lines in there. So what you do is you start painting and then you start adding the lines with paint. And that's why you end up with this. This is the reference. You end up with this, which is like your eye just, I don't know how to explain it. Like it just looks bulgy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have that same umph, you know what I'm saying? Like it just, and you know what? You're gonna get there if you keep doing it. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Like if you keep painting, you're gonna get to that level of just figuring out everything with painting. But you can get there quicker if you first learn how to do it with the lines, and then you get to learn it without the lines. So see how in my portrait it just has kind of like more fullness. And by the way, I'm so happy that you started using like hard edges and soft edges. Like it's so hard for a person to start doing that. You know, everybody just starts out super soft. So I'm happy that you've been using more hard edges. But see how when there's like no line in there, like there are no deeper shadows or anything, or you try to do the deeper shadows with like the actual brush. That's another thing. Like you have to have those darker, like you're gonna have those darker darks regardless, you know what I'm saying? Like you actually have them in there. The problem is that you try to do it with this painter brush, and it actually kind of gave it a painterly effect where it actually, the features themselves and those darker places really need to I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just lines help show the form. You know what I'm saying? Like look at that lip. You know what I'm saying? Like my lip, you can see how the line work of the corner of the mouth and the lip in itself. Like it has more form. Like your corner is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like mine was again, and by the way, I sound really kind of fucking narcissist right here. Like mine is so much better than yours. But I'm just trying to give an example here. So I still kind of have it softened on one side the same way you try to do it. But see how the line work in there just kind of brings out more form. Anyway, just try to do more of the thing that I showed you, right? So try to clean up the lines, try to clean up the lines that you're not gonna see, but also add more value, not value, add more weight to the ones that you need. Like for example, the eyelashes, the corners of the mouth, the middle of the mouth, the nostrils, you know, all of these places. And then also add couple of that's super important as well, is to add couple holy shit, I started coughing. Add couple of lines to where the core shadows and drop shadows are gonna be. So if you look at the reference, you're gonna have a core shadow right here, you're gonna have a drop shadow right here, and it's really useful not only for later to just kind of pull out the form, but it's also useful for the sketch and looking for proportions. So if you look at the sketch that I do, actually, can you see it in here? Now that's actually a pretty flat reference, but let me try to pull out something that I've been working on. You're just using basically the line art as like a map, right? Like you're trying to figure out where the shadows are gonna be. And for if I was working from this reference, like I'll totally just show with like and that's the thing, like you I feel like even your lines don't really have any type of dynamics and changes. Like the same way that I taught you to kind of do the dynamics of the edges, like always be using either a soft edge or a hard edge. Like don't just use the same edge. I feel like you've been using the same weight, you know. I feel like now you're getting more advanced, so you should really learn more about line weight. So try to make the weight of the lines different. So for example, look at the ones that I'm doing for the eyelashes, how it's a lot more bolder, and the one that I'm gonna be using right here for the drop shadows is gonna be a lot softer, right? It's gonna be, and I don't know, it feels kind of weird to be talking to him without him being here, because I don't know, it feels kind of super preachy. But anyway, I hope this is fucking useful, man. Just try to outline the things with lines, just to kind of figure out where everything is gonna be. And I want you to start painting below the lines and actually remove the lines as you're going. Don't rely so much on the painting, man. I swear it's gonna help you so much, because you're getting better, but I feel like in order to get to that next stage, you really need to combine lines and painting. Oh, holy shit, that was tiring. Nathan says, next week can we oh, that's DJ. DJ, next week can we have a sex ed class? Oh, my guy, you know, you gotta pay a lot more than 12.5 fucking pounds per week for a sex class. God knows that. And I'm gonna need another person. I don't know, male or female, but I'm gonna need somebody else. Or maybe I can do a sex talk on just jerking off. Nathan says, so in the final, you want the original line art to be visible in the focal features, like the eyes and mouth and nose, or am I misinterpreting that? Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I mean, that kind of depends on the style. So depending on the style in my artworks, I'll kind of have different things, but where you're at and what I'm trying to teach you right now, that's exactly what I want you to be doing. So I want some of those lines to stay in there, so I can not only but it looks and it's just faster. Like it's faster to do good lines and just add colors and do a little bit of rendering and just to kind of clean up, you know what I'm saying? It just looks much better. And then as you're getting better, you can experiment, no lines, more lines. And that's the kind of the stage that I went through. Like if you look at my old work, let me pull up something. I'm gonna get to all the comments, man, I'm sorry. If you look at my kind of older work, for example, with this in here, 2018, it's still kind of, I don't know, like you can you kind of feel how just everything is a lot more blurry. Like I was just not really sure of myself. Like you know what I'm saying. That's basically what I feel kind of Joshua is going through right now, and I can totally feel you. The problem is it took me fucking 3 years to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to teach you this shit in like less than a year. You know what I'm saying? So see how right now I'm really trying to play with both lines and paint to kind of pull out those forms. Like see how that face just, I don't know. It's just there's something missing. Like it's just it looks blurry. Like the edges are the same. You know what I'm saying? Like in here, just the lines and paints are working together. And for a long time there, I was only doing my messy painting technique, which is I was learning how to paint with only painting. But then I realized, dude, that's great to know. But then you can kind of create even better effects with the lines. So it really kind of depends on the artwork, and that's kind of advanced stuff. But really, try to learn more about lines right now while you're still a beginner, and then you can experiment with all these things. I hope this helps. DJ says I'll pay for it. Do you like Jaden Smith? Yeah, I kind of like. Let me get to the other comments and I'm gonna get to it. Angel putting us on an emotional ride. Oh, bitch, you know how it is. All of my live streams are just one big emotional ride. Actually, my whole life is just one big emotional ride. Anna says I thought about my mission, about my orientation. What? Oh, you mean like are you a lesbian? Oh, bitch, I'm gonna do you anyway. I don't care what you are anyway. Uh, DJ says, do you like Jaden Smith? Yeah, I actually do. I mean, I used to hate on him back in the day when he was cool. Like, oh, what is this fucking kid doing? But nowadays, man, he's just he's an icon. You know, you listen to that song, man. He's just, I don't know, man. The dude is just on another level. Like I don't know, it's just like he talks a lot about getting out of your comfort zone, and I think that's so true. And he always talking about kind of like having no fear and just kind of experimenting. It's kind of cool, definitely cool. Anyway, I think this is it for today. Holy shit, I still have 5 people watching me. That's so cool, man. 5 people, you all stuck through 1 hour and 20 minutes of bullshit. But I really hope it was kind of helpful. Anna says, I like boys who like girls. Oh, baby, I don't know what I like, but I know I like you, though. Hey. So, you gotta be thinking outside of the box. That's what it is. I like this, I like that. Bitch, let me just fuck, okay? Let me just get this dick wet, you know what I'm saying? Anna says, what's wrong with me? No, baby, what's wrong with me? Right now, I'm on YouTube teaching people how to paint and talking about how I want to get my dick wet. That right answer is what's wrong with me. Traps. Oh, traps. Oh, definitely fucking traps. Is that transgenders? I hope that's. I'd love to sleep with a transgender, by the way. Anyway, don't get this out of context, by the way. Anyway, this is it for today, man. Thank you so much to everybody, for real. Again, I wanted to thank all of my new patrons, man. We're so close to hitting 500 a month. And by the way, I've been working on these stickers. Let me show you real quick. I had my first batch. I promised everybody once I hit $500 per month, I'm gonna send all of my patrons free stickers, and that's definitely happening. I had my first batch, but I'm still kind of like not satisfied with oh, where'd they go though? Wait, hold on a second, I'll be back. So I did the first batch, but I wasn't really satisfied with the quality, so I'm kind of doing, I'm not gonna show them to you really close, but I got some stickers here. I'm gonna be doing different sizes and stuff, kind of experimenting. So hopefully in the next month I'm gonna hit $500 per month, and I can kind of print out some stickers and really send all of you guys some free stickers, just to kind of show you support and shit. But really, man, just, I know I'm an asshole and shit. I know I get all of this shit, but thank you. I can't believe right now I'm getting paid to talk about getting my dick wet and fucking painting on YouTube, and people are watching it. You know, it just feels good. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys make me happy, man. Like really, like my life is happier than it's ever been. Like I'm the happiest fucking I've ever been my whole life. So I just wanted to say that, and I'm gonna be back to my asshole-ish self next time. Probably in the next 30 seconds, so it doesn't even matter. But really, Chris says, thank you for the critique, Angel. I'm really depressed right now. That's funny. Joking, I'm gonna do better next time. I hope you do, man. Actually, matter of fact, I know you do. I know you will. Actually, that's grammatically incorrect. I'm really disturbed. I feel complete. I love you. But Angel, better than 100 traps. That's funny. Baby, I'm better than all the traps put together. You know that. You know that. But anyway, thank you so. DJ says OC. Actually, that's the girl with the hat from Character Friday. But I'm gonna be doing different type of stickers though. Get sentimental so I can feel emotion for you. Oh, baby, you know you already feel emotion for me. You already know that. You paying 12.5 pounds per week so you can watch me blow my nose. It doesn't get any more sentimental than this, and you fucking know it. But anyway, thank you so much again, everybody, man. I'm gonna go fucking eat, and then I'm gonna die real quick. But again, I'm gonna talk to you next week. I want everybody to fucking get on their grind. I want everybody to fucking paint. Okay, I want everybody to push themselves. We gotta get fucking better. Dude, the live stream is so behind though. I was just blowing my nose. Dude, this shit is... Guys, you're living in the past. Like, as I'm saying this, I've already finished the stream. Like, you're just wasting your time right now because I'm in the future, bitch. Anyway, thank you so much. Talk to you next week, bitch. I love you. Bye-bye.